What's up, everyone? It is Diecastbuffet here again. And guys, we have the two-car diecast chassis set from Circle B Diecast of the Red Bull 2025 Cup cars, that being Connor Zilisch and Shane van Gisbergen. They're selling these as a set, so we're going to be doing a diecast review as a set. What makes these cars so incredibly cool is there's only 288 produced of each one. So that means this Connor Zilisch and this SVG, only 288 of these individual cars in existence for the diecast chassis. That could mean these things could be super rare down the road if you're a big-time Red Bull collector. Anyways, we're going to be doing a diecast review on both of them. Let's go ahead and hop to it. And here we go, fellas, with today's diecast in hand, or one of the two cars. I mean, let me tell you, these are by far the hottest thing in NASCAR diecast collecting, and it's not even close. Okay, maybe the Bud Light model, but that's besides the point. These Red Bull cars, everywhere you go, every place that has diecast posted, there's a cat posting their Red Bull cars, and you know what? I love to see it because as a huge, passionate collector and fan of these things, man, it's really cool to see other people excited about these cars. These diecasts are just absolutely remarkable. So the official name for this one is just Connor Zilisch 87 Red Bull Chevrolet. Again, one of 288. I'm telling you, like, we see how, like, rare and uncommon the Red Bull cars were a decade ago, right? Well, guess what? Knowing there's only 288 of the diecast chassis variant, I don't want to be that cat, but if you're a completionist, years and years and years from now, there is only 288. That is a stupid low production amount. You want to know how much the standard of this car probably got produced? At least 2,500, okay? So you can already see the discrepancy between at least 2,500 from the minimum order quantity to the just 288. Unless the 288 is a part of the 2,500, then it might be 2,200. I digress. Anyways, the box design actually very sleek. You have just the small Trackhouse logo, which low-key, I like that. It's kind of clean. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and get the diecast out of the box, and let's take a closer look. Guys, I'm geeked up to do this diecast review. Let's go to it. And here we go, folks. Diecast in hand. And as I mentioned at the top of this video, these are basically a official / unofficial set. You know, usually the diecast sets are, you know, they're in a uniform box design or, you know, a 2-pack set. Well, I believe Circle B Diecast got the entire production right. I could be mistaken on that, right? I've only seen Circle B have these, and they're selling them as a 2-car set. So if you're wanting this one in the diecast chassis, you got to pick it up with the SVG. But I think that's great because it means, hey, if, you know, instead of it being like, okay, only one of them's available, well, both of them are available, right? So you get the luck out, so to speak, if you're a fan looking for both cars. And I tell you what, man, this diecast is so freaking cool. I love the Red Bull cars literally every week this year in 2025. And I'm looking at the paint scheme preview for each week, right? And I'm looking to see if SVG is racing the Red Bull car or if Connor Zilisch is racing. And every time I see one of these Red Bull cars on track, I just smile, man. I can't help it. I love seeing their paint schemes. It's just so cool. Got Zilisch right there on the front windscreen. This is also the first Cup car diecast for Connor Zilisch. So, I mean, you never know how rare that could potentially get. You never know. That's why when I say certain diecasts you got to pick up before other ones, I'm being honest with you, man. This one could be years and years from now, a diecast a lot of people wish they had. Not saying it's going to happen, but you know how it goes. Got Red Bull right there in the hood. WeatherTech.com. Get the number 87. Get Trackhouse Racing with Sunoco and Sunoco. And yeah, there's 2 Trackhouse logos. Okay, so you have the little white bar there, and then you have the normal Trackhouse logo. Go to the left side of the diecast here. Another great feature about this car is the 2-tone design, but not paint, but actually the clear coat. So the entire car has kind of a matte sheen or a semi-gloss sheen to it. But if you notice over the decals, you know, the numbers, the wording, it's very glossy. So that's 2-tone there in terms of the finish. And then you add a third one if you want to consider it, the chrome outlining to the number. Oh, that is so dope, man. I'm not going to lie. So there's not really much contingencies on here. We notice each time they run this car, they have like a convenience store or a local food or market or something on the quarter panel, which I think is very unique. Similar to how the Kroger cars are for RFK, where they'll have like Kroger on the hood, but on the side they'll have, different products, which I like that. I'm trying to read what that says on the fuel insert. I think the right side says Trackhouse and the left side as well. It's really unique how each team has kind of created their own styling of design around the fuel insert, since the American ethanol ring is no longer like a standard issue, so to speak, for all the cars. Got Connor Zilisch right there on the driver name rail. Got Simeon's Chevrolet number 87 Cup Series Goodyear. Go to the tail end of the car and check this out right here. Gives you wings on the freaking spoiler. That is so dope. Got Chevrolet 87 Quaker State, and again the back panel, there's probably supposed to be a food chain, so it'd be like a Quick Mart or something, or Save Mart or whatever. Was it Quick Trip? Yeah, Save Mart is the sponsor at Sonoma. That's what SVG won in. But whatever the local chain is near the racetrack, I believe that's where it goes. I actually really like that. I think that's such a cool way. Kind of reminds me of whatchamacallit, Tony Stewart, when he used to drive the Home Depot car, or when Joey Logano drove the GameStop car. In the quarter panel of the car, somewhere on it, they would have a store number, right? So it'd be like, they'd be racing Kentucky in the Nationwide Series, and it would have like GameStop, and then it would have like the store number in the corner or something. Or Tony Stewart would be racing in the Home Depot car at like Atlanta X, Y, and Z, and they would have a little store number. I thought that was really cool how they did that. Go to the right side of the diecast, just such a beautiful, beautiful looking paint scheme, man. By far the hottest Cup car of the year, or Cup cars, because both of them, they're virtually identical. So at the top of the car, you have a inverted color palette with the red 87 on the roof, and on the door number, the white numbers. What's fascinating is over here on the SVG, they have the white numbers there. I guess the strategy behind that, I don't know if they've done this yet in 2025, but if both cars ran in the same event, at least the spotter would be able to look and say, hey, red roof numbers, that's Zilisch. White roof numbers, SVG. Now, this is one of the more unique areas of the car this year in 2025, the deck lid. You got Zilisch right there on the back window. But this area right here, and it's kind of like a quarter panel of the deck lid, and it says "Give You Wings." I don't think they're allowed to put sponsors on this side of the spoiler. I imagine there would be some gamesmanship if that was the case, because this is exactly where the wind hits it. The back panel of it, there's not really much to be had because there's no wind directly pressing against it. So I'm guessing that was the compromise. In 2025, they made quite a bit of changes to the sponsor placement across the car, where they made it where you could put sponsors on the A-post, you could put sponsors the front portion of the roof, naturally on the rear of the spoiler, fuel insert ring, X, Y, and Z. So I think that was kind of a compromise, possibly. That way you could still see it via the rear TV cam. Beautiful diecast, man. I'm kind of torn on this because these are easily my favorite diecasts of the year, by far. But since they're so similar, do I consider one more than the other? You know what I'm saying? Like, if I had to pick one, which one do you pick? They're the same almost, right? I don't know how you could pick one better than the other, but by far, one of these are for sure my favorite of 2025. Hottest diecast out there. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to pick up the Shane Van Gisbergen diecast here, and we're going to take a gander at it and check it out here in hand. Another thing that, if you're interested, is the box design is a little bit different than the standard 2025. Let me grab another diecast. Hold on. Let me find one. Oh, there's one right here. So this is a 2025 Chase Elliott. This is another new release. Highly recommend it. The first raced win of 2025. Yes, it is already the first raced win. W. Lionel getting this diecast out a whole lot earlier than I expected. Especially with the delays this year and everything. This was a massive W in my opinion. This is the Clash win. But the reason why I want to mention it is, again, if you're trying to say, okay, what makes this car so much more better or interesting for my collection compared to the normal ones, there is a little bit of a box change as well. So that's one thing. And of course, the tag over here is going to be different. Instead of it just saying limited edition, it says one of 80 or one of 288, which I wish all the diecasts would say the actual production number, because for those who don't know, the minimum order quantity entering 2025 was about 2,500. They made a change. I did a video on that earlier this year. It was about 1,500 now. So any diecast produced, you have to assume, or not, I'd say we probably won't see this till maybe December, maybe January. It could be earlier. But those diecasts will have an MOQ of 1,500, meaning you could see a significantly less of quantity of each paint scheme, making them even harder to get years down the road. So anyways, enough of me talking about the differences in the boxes. These are, the same boxes pretty much, because it's a team uniform style. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and get this diecast out of the box, and we'll check out the SVG Diecast Chassis Edition. And here we go, folks, with today's, second diecast of it. You're getting 2 diecast reviews today, so that's cool. I'm kidding. Anyways, what an awesome looking card, man. The SVG Red Bull car. Every single time he runs this paint scheme, I again, just like the Connor Zilisch car, I just smile, because I'm like, this takes me back, man. I remember 2011, 2010, where every week there was a Red Bull car on the racetrack, and it's just such a wave of nostalgia, man. And if you really look at the COT era Red Bull cars, they're actually not that different, like in terms of paint scheme. Like the original cars, I think, were metallic blue. These are kind of a semi-gloss sheen of blue. And it's just cool to see them kind of keep the same door design. Obviously, they had to move the numbers up, but they're not like off by 1,000 miles. They basically brought it up to speed, so to speak, for today's modern racing culture. Got Van Gisbergen right there in the front windscreen. Got the bow tie. Got Red Bull WeatherTech.com. Got Goodyear on both sides. 88. Got your rookie Sunoco rookie decal. Then Sunoco once again, number 88. And again, you can see that really cool two-tone sheen design of the front of the diecast, where the grill decals are very glossy, but everything else kind of just doles out. I like that. Got the Trackhouse logo there. Go to the left side of the diecast. Make sure to pick up yours, fellas. You can use that promo code if you'd like. You don't have to. Use promo code Diecastbuffet over there at Circle Diecast, and it's for orders $30 or more. Well, these over there, that if you get the 2-car set, diecast chassis, foil number, they naturally, they're a little bit more than your standard releases. Well, guess what? You could put both of them in your cart. Congratulations, it's over $30. Boom. If shipping $6, you get free shipping. You see what I'm saying? Get them today. Tap in. You don't have to, but hey, man, highly recommend them. Get them while you can. If you need an example, try finding SVG's WeatherTech car from 2025, the Cup car. Yeah, good luck. Got the number 88 right there on the side. There is a little bit of an air bubble there. I don't know if that can be fixed or not. Got the beautiful chrome outlining to it. One of my favorite things about the Trackhouse cars is they love to do modern designs, that chrome number effect. Just beautiful, beautiful stuff. Got Goodyear Cup Series, SVG. Got Simeon's, Wendy's, Chevrolet. And just like the Connor Zilisch car, they would do this each week. They would change out the quarter panel logo depending on the where they're racing at. And there'd probably be a couple of B-post decals, maybe one down here or over here or something. They would change out as well. Got the little fuel insert, really, really cool. Gives you wings right there, Chevrolet. Interesting enough, there is like an overlay here. I don't know what happened there. That's interesting. Is that like a cut, or is that a decal over top of it? I have no idea. That is interesting. I got Chevrolet right there in the back panel with the ZL1. Quaker State. Dude, a Quaker State SVG car would be dope. Got the number 88 right there. Go to the right side of the diecast. Beautiful, beautiful looking paint scheme. Got quad lock, safety culture. We'll be showing both of them side by side to see if there's any other differences once we're done looking at this car. Got the top of it with the 88, and again, the white door numbers, white roof. The Connor Zilisch having the red roof number. I'm not sure which one I like more. I don't know. I feel like both of them actually look really good. So I'm not sure. Heck, I remember when they announced the paint schemes, I was like, please tell me, like they're gonna, us 164 collectors, they were gonna make them, and I'm like, oh my goodness, bro, the pre-order's gonna go crazy. And sure enough, this was like February, January, something like that. And sure enough, whenever these diecast started rolling in at Circle B, everywhere, and I mean everywhere you go, there's NASCAR diecast content posted on social media. Everybody's like, oh, got the Red Bull cars, got the Red Bull cars. It's just so cool to see other people have a passion for the same hobby I do. Got Van Gisbergen right there. Notice the, what is it, 3 or 4 eyes? I can't read. So it gives you wings. That's a funny play on words. And you have the same wording right there on the deck lid area. Very, very sharp. So I'm going to compare both of these cars real quick. And we're going to see if there's any other differences that maybe I missed. Now, the first thing I notice is the quarter panel on the 87 car doesn't have any sponsor logos there. Again, I don't have a photo of the car actually on track to see if there's any other differences there. The number placement, the bull, and all that stuff, pretty similar. I mean, each car individually is going to be a little bit different because they're wrapped and all that stuff. The Simeon's logo is the same. The obviously the driver logo is going to be name logo is going to be different. You do have a Wendy's decal on the SVG, but not on the 87. Let's go to the hood of the diecast here. We got WeatherTech, all that. So that lines up. The front of the car. Oh yeah, this is something different. I didn't realize it. See. This is why diecast reviews are really important to have. So notice the front of the SVG is actually red at the bottom, but on the Connor Zilisch is white. I did not know that. See, I would have never known that if I didn't do a side-by-side comparison. Shout out to OBB, by the way, one of the OGs for doing side-by-side comparisons. Really, really cool stuff, man. Love these Red Bull cars. And we'll take a closer look on the back panel. So the slogan is there. You got your... Actually, that's another difference. What? Hold on. That's another one. Look at the deck lid there. Notice on the 87 car, the car on the right, you have the little Red Bull, bulls in the sun or whatever the biff they call it. But then on the left side, you actually have the Red Bull wording. So both of those are different. Okay, so that's another one. And then the tail end of the car, it looks pretty much the same. Interesting. So there is some subtle differences to the hottest diecast of 2025, and quite frankly, it's not even really close. I mean, technically, you can't consider the Bud late model a NASCAR diecast because it's a Cars Tour or whatever late model series diecast, but you get my point. Wow. These things are freaking awesome, man. I'm telling you, if you haven't picked up your Red Bull cars at Circle B, fellas, you might not get another opportunity to. Once these are sold out, I'm just saying, watch out. Good luck trying to find them. Highly recommend them. 10 out of 10. Get the diecast set. Get them individually. The 124s should be there as well. If you're looking for one of the 124s, you better get them while you can. I mean, good luck trying to find some of these cars years from now. Just saying. That's all for now. Have a blessed one. Awesome, awesome freaking diecast. Definitely my favorite ones of the year. DB, signing off.